Welcome to the You, Me, and Disney podcast. Hi, welcome back. I'm Nikki.
I'm Shawn.
How's it going?
It's okay.
Are you laughing because I'm wearing an eye patch?
Yes.
So just for everyone who's listening, or anyone who's listening, my eye is bothering me, so I had a hot pack on my eye. But it's only on one side, so it's like an eye patch. So
I wish we were recording this episode.
Picture an eye patch and a glass of wine.
Okay. Yes. Dinner and an eye patch.
So I'm literally a real pirate.
Arr.
Arr.
So is the top of the month.
Top of the month treat.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for taking that off. Now I can actually look at you.
I think we had said last time we were going to do something.
We're going to do a hotel review.
But
we switched up last minute and we're a day behind already. So we decided to do our top 3 ride queues.
So favorite ride
queues. So
not like
the
ride.
Nothing to do with the ride, actually. Okay. The queue itself, the story before the story begins.
All right.
Do you have any housekeeping?
Do I have any housekeeping? I don't think so. Do you? Did I have tasks and I didn't do them? Possible. You know me, I don't follow up.
The only housekeeping I have is not even housekeeping. I listened a little bit more about the 2 stories that we talked about last week. What was the acronym? Human beings being pieces of shit.
Oh, I wrote it down. I don't know what I did with it. Yep.
Yeah. So the 2 follow-ups I have are the guy who rescued his 5-year-old daughter.
Yes, we looked deep into that.
I deep dove. Even guys at work came.
I'm the one who told you about it.
Guys at work came up to me the next day and were so thrilled because they thought they knew something that I didn't know. They were like, Shawn, did you hear about? I was like, of course I heard about this.
Of course we know.
Yes, of course. But it was all the discussion for like at least a good hour at work is how this guy was able to survive. Actually, matter of fact,
he tread water for like 15, 20 minutes.
15 minutes. I talked about this today at work with one of my coworkers who was in the naval services for a little while. And he told me that it can sometimes take an hour for a boat to turn around.
Good. I can imagine.
Well,
I want a picture about how big.
So he explains. Exactly. And that's it. He said they actually have to do what's called a figure 8.
Oh, really?
Because if you think about it, if a boat turns and then comes back around like this, it could be hundreds of yards between the distance. So what it does is it goes up, goes over like this, comes back, and then comes back like that. So a figure 8. And I was like, that's amazing. And he was, telling me about like the response times and things like that. And, I was more amazed.
Did you ever look into the ship to find out if it really does have that beam, that safety?
It does. It does. Yep.
Beam?
It does. Yes. And it was actually, that's what sent it off. And then I guess a crew member, and he also explained what crew members are supposed to do. I guess, and there's a term, he couldn't even think about it because it's been so long since he was out in the ocean. He said there is a term that when you see somebody go overboard, you're the first responder, your first eyes on, you never take eyes off.
So you literally can't leave that spot.
You cannot leave that spot, and you have to watch them the whole time, because then when somebody comes back and you look away for a minute, you're like, wait, the ocean's huge. Now I've lost them. So you literally stare at them the whole entire time, and you're like, I see you, I see you, I see you. Hey, Bob, go get somebody. I see you, I see you. And that's how they're able to do it. And they coordinate through their walkie-talkies, obviously.
Good grief.
Yeah. That's why when I'm saying...
Don't sit your kids on the side.
For a selfie.
For a photo.
Yeah, for a selfie. So I think that's
Don't do it.
I guess I just want to give that dad so much credit, and so much credit to the staff of that ship, because they went above and beyond. What's up with the fruit flies down here? Like,
no idea.
Wow.
They just came out of nowhere, too.
Well, they're infesting your glass of wine.
My office.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Hey, let's dive right into this because we are pressed for time. So
we are. We're a baseball family.
Yeah. And we're doing this in between some events. So, sorry.
Shawn's clicking his nails. I'm literally we just talked about this last week. I'm going to stab him.
Right
Red.
in the eye. But then there with the evidence.
Anyone would feel bad for me after listening to this, and they will come stick up for me.
True. Hey,
Right.
do you want to start or do I
Do I
want to
wanna
start?
start?
There's no parameter. I guess
There's
the
no
only- The
parameters.
only parameter was it has to be a current ride. It cannot be
Okay.
an old ass old ride, which
You mean one that doesn't exist?
one that doesn't
Mr.
exist.
Toad's
Yeah,
ride, right,
exactly.
okay.
Or even technically dinosaur, technically old test track. I don't know.
Even Dinosaur, I wouldn't say Dinosaur had an amazing queue.
So that being said,
I can't wait to see what Indiana Jones is gonna have.
Yesterday.
You struggled to think about queues?
I didn't because
I had a lot of them actually.
a lot of them don't even have queues. A lot of them have like a lot of just tunnels.
So it's funny you say that because speaking about rides that don't have queues, I was like, ooh, and you know, you're going through in your mind about the ride and this, that, and I was like, oh, let me think about Rock and Roller Coaster. That is the shittiest queue
Right.
known to me.
Right.
You are literally outside, then you're inside. You
Right.
go in that little room for 1 second
Right.
that talks, you know, Aerosmith talks to you.
Well, don't spoil it because that could be my number one.
Well, if it
Hey.
is, you're lame.
Disclaimer, we're going to talk about ride queues. So if you've never been there or not, hey, guess what? We're going to talk about it. So,
We're talking about-
all right. Hey,
So my first,
peace out.
and because
Wait, you
you
started
said-
from the bottom, right? 3.
Yes,
Okay,
they're my
number one.
third. So
Okay.
sorry. So,
So you're
my
third.
third. I meant my first one that I'm
First
no,
choice.
First choice, which is really number 3.
Go, Nikki. Go.
And because you said this isn't related to rides, it's not the ride, it's the queue. What I would have to say, Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror. So Tower of Terror, you obviously walk up to Tower of Terror, and first off, the cast members are all dressed like bellhops. All right. So, and it's in the 1930s.
I would say 30s.
30s.
Prohibition. Right?
Episode depicts an events of a stormy night in 1939.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I knew I was right.
Yeah.
So, and starts as an open air queue, but when you first walk up, the Tower of Terror obviously looks like a hotel.
Yeah.
Is
it the icon of the park?
It is the icon. I
Right.
think it was supposed to be the theater, but it's
Right. The Chinese theater.
Yeah,
It is.
it's really-
Yeah. Yeah.
so, and it's all a hotel. So open air and begin, and you kind of walk through.
You hear the people screaming.
You
out
can
of it.
hear people screaming, and they pump in music from 1939 the entire time.
Yeah.
That music.
Yeah,
that
that
I can't
jazzy.
even-
It's that
like a
jazzy,
jazzy-
shining music.
I will try to find it. so you
Right.
can play
It's
it.
that kind of music where it's like, hey, somebody's gonna get murdered.
So after you walk through your open air queue, you walk directly into the lobby of a hotel, of what looks like a hotel set in 1939. There is cobwebs everywhere and dust. It is got furniture. And it even has a smell.
I don't know if I
Not like a bad smell. It has a smell like.
Well, every ride I think has a smell, but I don't think I could distinguish that one except cobwebs.
I
like,
don't
is
know.
it musty like your dad's old,
I feel
like old Playboy magazines that you find in the woods? Like, is it that smell?
I guess so. And so the attention to detail for me when you first walk into the lobby. Now, disclaimer here, I hate this ride. I had been on this ride.
Oh, you talked about this because
100
you went down
times.
another elevator, right?
I've been on this ride 100 times, never been afraid. I have videos of me going on this ride, love this ride. I don't know what happened over the last 3 years. I have become a complete chicken shit. I have no idea what happened. I had to bail out and go on the baby elevator that lets you out for the people who have to exit the ride. But that's a different story. But anyway,
Yeah.
doesn't eliminate how much I love the queue. So after you first walk in and you go through the lobby, which is all decked out like a real lobby.
Yeah. It feels like a real hotel.
Feels like it legit
Yeah,
feels
it
like a
does.
real hotel. You go, then you are like kind of funneled into the library.
Yep.
Did you even know it was a library?
I did not know that was a library. I would have called it a solarium.
Nope. So they funnel you into a library, and it's probably a group of like 20 people. It's one of those places where there's a queue within a queue within a queue.
Yeah.
And it's to help break up the line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, obviously.
So they put you in the library, and the creepy bellhops say something like, you know, you're never coming back or something.
Yeah.
And they shut the door, and then a TV screen pops on. And it is the Twilight Zone theme. And they go through the whole story, you know, of what happened in 1939 during that storm.
Fateful night where the tower was
Yep.
struck by
So
lightning.
it was a famous Hollywood hotel, and there's a mother, a husband, a child, her nanny, and a bellhop, and they're in the elevator, and the elevator gets struck by lightning, and it goes falling to the ground.
Yes. And you never see those people
And you
ever
never
again,
see
right?
those people again. And then the doors open and now you are in the boiler room. So you know you're like in the dungeon, deep dungeon, and it is like
It feels like a
Like a
dungeon,
boiler.
Yeah. If they do a great job. I have no when I'm there.
you have no concept of
I
where
have
you
no
are.
I have no sense of where I am.
That's
in
what I
the
mean.
building.
You don't know if you're up and you're
Down
whistling
or-
down.
yeah.
You're down.
You're
but you
assuming
don't.
you're assuming you're
You're
down,
assuming you're down.
but you could be higher than even ground level.
Correct, because you don't know what happens why they put you in that library. That
Right.
library is probably bringing you up or down.
Yeah.
Probably an
Well,
elevator.
these are the hidden mysteries that you don't know. This is the fun stuff.
So after the boiler room, note to self, that's when I started to chicken out and got an
Yeah.
upset belly. And I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. And then they kind of split you off in the boiler room
Into your loading.
two or
into your
three
elevators.
sections.
Yeah.
And then the bellhop is there and they put you in your line door and the doors open and
That's your ride, right?
and that's your ride and you get on the ride and
We're not talking about rides.
I don't not and it's the elevator for chicken shits like me is they were very nice to me. It's a normal regular elevator that is quite lit. It's bright, very bright.
Employees only.
Employees only. You actually have to hang your head in shame with the bellhop.
I told you what I thought would have been hilarious if the guy would have been like, "You thought that ride was that elevator?
Yeah.
This is scary," and like
So
hit the button. hit
What's
the
your
emergency
thoughts
button.
about Tower of Terror?
It was my runner-up. It actually
Was it really?
It was.
Damn
It
it.
was. Well, Haunted Mansion is my number 3. So they're very similar. And that's what
I knew we should have talked about that.
Well, no, why would we ever? But when I thought about it, I was like, wow, those rides are they're twins. They're cousins even. Like you have the same feel, even the same outfits. Like one is like with the Haunted Mansion, they're wearing like a butler's outfit where the other one is wearing a bellhop outfit. But it starts outside, very similar to the Tower of Terror. You're walking through like a gardeny area. And the thing that I think I love about it is like you walk past the old cemetery. And I love
Don't get into that yet.
I'm talking about the ride queue. That is the ride.
Wait.
That's the queue.
For Tower of Terror? There's no
Haunted Mansion.
Oh no, but we're not there yet.
We are. That's where I'm at. I don't consider that outside switchback area where like I consider once you've walked through the 9 switchbacks and you're kind of entering around the corner and the cemetery is on the outside with the woman with the eyes that shift back and forth right before you're about to enter into the queue.
See, so
It has let's also be very clear. Some of these queues you might not ever experience because they change all the time. There's always different directions. There's always different turnstiles that they can plot up left and right.
That's why I don't know why you instantly jumped because I thought we were talking about Tower of Terror because
I'm not
Tower of Terror.
Talking about Haunted Mansion.
Tower of Terror, the only switch you're ever going to have
Is on
is
the
on the
outside.
outside.
Yeah.
Once you get into the lobby,
Yeah.
that is it. There is no switch
Right.
breaks. But it's funny that you're talking about Haunted Mansion because that was my number 2.
Oh, why are you telling me that?
Well, because you're talking about it, you went over it, and I had all this stuff, and actually they consider the open air queue part of it, and I disagree with you 100%.
No, I agree because
Okay.
even like Minnie and Mickey's, now that I'm talking about this out loud, I was on the fence about including it because their outside area, I believe, is way better than the inside area because of all the handprints and everything else that they'd incorporated into their queue. But going back to the Haunted Mansion, like it's a buildup. You're outside, you're looking at the Haunted Mansion. It's by not anymore, by the rivers of America. So it gives you that kind of that swampy feel and like everything else. And it kind of sets the mood. Yeah, there is the carriage that is held, but that is technically on the outside of the queue. Because remember, we wanted to get our photo taken, and they said when you come out.
No. You walk by it on the inside, you can see it.
But you get your photo taken on the outside. So technically, that is the exit queue. I'm talking about the inner queue. There is the hidden engagement ring. There's sections like the mausoleum section that you sometimes will go through, but sometimes not. So I want to stay consistent with what most people would go through.
See, I wanted to talk about all of it when it comes to Haunted Mansion because for me, Haunted Mansion, that queue, that outside area is so engulfing.
Yeah.
There is mausoleums. Apparently there's a story
There's always a story.
Oh, hold
The
on. I found
the
it.
bride and her
Nope.
ring.
Nope.
There's always hey, spoiler. There's a story to every single ride. You just might not know it, but when the Imagineers come up with a concept for a ride, they storyboard it. They're like, imagine Shawn and Nicky fell in love in a young age, and and then Shawn like smashed Nicky in the head, and then he has to run for like. There's always a story, and that's what gets them to like, well, hey, that would be a good prop inside the ride, or this or that. So it starts with that story concept. Can I keep on going though while you're perusing?
Yeah.
So I love the part where you first come into, I'm not sure what the room is called, but where Master Gracie.
Oh,
Nope.
that's
Master Gracie greets you, and you all funnel in, and there's a painting on the wall, and it's come on in, everybody, fill in the space, and Master Gracie kind of informs you about what's going on in his mansion. Then you go into the stretching room.
Yep.
And for me, this is a nostalgic Disney ride.
yes.
This is I didn't look in whether this was before Disneyland, which one was first. I think Disneyland was because I believe one of the major Imagineers, Raleigh Crumb, I believe he knew the woman who became Madame Leota. Yeah. And like her face and the crystal ball and everything else. And there's so much Walt history here. And I think they had such a great blueprint. They copied it for Disney World. But it's more of the voice, like the welcome to this. And if you notice, this room has a window, and it's you don't, and you're looking at it, you're like, are we raising? Are we going down? It's one of those illusions too. The room is getting bigger, but
you don't know.
are you going down, or is the top going up? And then they show the woman hanging, like the lightning flash and everything else, and it's great. I love it. I love it. Then they open those doors, and then they're like, come everyone, let's load into your doom buggies. And we purchased the magic bands, the plus, the ones that light up. And I remember the first time we walked in, and I was like, I noticed all of our bands were glowing red. I was like, hey, what's this? And they're like, oh, you've picked up a ghost.
Yeah.
You picked up a hitchhiker. And it was just like
A haunt.
And it's so much fun. I wasn't a big fan of the ride the first few times we went on it, but it is definitely, the ride is growing on it, but I love the queue. I love how
the queue.
immersive it is. I love how it slowly builds up.
Absolutely. I mean, as far as interactive cues go, this is one of the most interactive cues I feel like to begin with. From the second you step through, and note to self, if you ever see, I don't know if we've talked about this, if you ever see that the wait is 13 minutes, it means that there is no wait.
It's a walk-on. Yeah.
It's a walk-on.
Inside party jerk.
Inside
13.
13.
Devil's number.
So it's so immersive from the second you get there to, like you said, you have the hearse that's there with the it looks like there's a horse there, but he's not really there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's a black hearse with a horse who's not really there. To they have a family of headstones, and it's actually they're not just headstones. It's like the whole, I don't even know how I explain
A
it.
tombstone?
No, it's a family.
A plot?
It's a story. I'm going to have to look it up. I meant to be totally.
A family plot?
No, it's not a family plot. But anyway.
Some of those headstones are like former rides too. I think in the outside, Mr. Toad just
That's when you walk out.
When you walk out, right? That's why I didn't bring that up. But there are like hidden little people in there too, like maybe ride creators and Imagineers that took part in the creation.
Yeah, Madame Leota's gravestone is there. I think she's the one who blinks.
Her eyes look back and forth. Yeah. She could be. It could be that one. Actually, I think it might be.
So my favorite time ever being in this queue.
Oh, yeah.
We were there for Halloween.
Yeah.
And we actually got on the ride at night.
Yeah.
And they have someone out front who looks like a ghost. I don't know how they did it.
The live actors.
He was a live actor. They have him dressed as a butler. But he legit, the way they have the lights on him and the way they have the makeup on him, legitimately looks like he's a ghost or a haunt of some kind.
Very good. They're
almost
great
like
with their lighting.
Yes. And he was telling jokes.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. Things like, I see that sweaty tourist is the costume of the year.
Yeah.
just telling jokes, and he actually picked on our son, and that year he was dressed like the Mandalorian. And he was like, and what are you? And our son was like, the Mandalorian. He was like, the entrance is this way.
Yeah.
Like it just
Is
and
the,
it
is
was
the way.
it,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entrance and
He,
it was
he's very good.
right on
very
top of
quick,
it.
Yes.
Apparently if you go for Halloween, he is there, and then there's a woman.
She might have been there that year.
But what I mean is that it depends.
Yeah.
Must.
Yes.
But it probably was one of my favorite times ever being in that queue. It
Oh, yeah.
was so captivating.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun. This I will agree, the stretching room has always been my favorite.
That's great.
Down to, when the voice comes on and tells you not to lower the lap bar.
And I meant to write that man's name down.
I did too.
Like his voice. He was like, there's video of him doing the B-roll for that audio recording, and you can hear him smoking while he's doing it. He's like, "Hey, wow, give me a cigarette." And he's like, "How do you?" And whether the people are like, "Hey, Tony, give a little bit more throat in that." Like, no, and he's obviously that was his job, that was his profession. He knew what he was doing, but the way his ominous voice, it's not creepy, but it is creepy. But I love it.
Yeah, so there's never going to be a place where you're not going to have somewhere to look in this queue.
Yeah, and that's what I meant to say. Some of these queues, you could lightning lane and you could just walk through and you're like, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, and you don't see anything. But like some of these queues, you might at some point in your Disney career spend an hour, spend 2 hours even.
Yeah.
Like we've spent 2 hours at the Tower of Terror in the waiting room and in the queues. So it's Disney, for the most part, understands that and will decorate their queues. But I feel like other queues are just like like I didn't, but Turtle Talk with, The Seas with Nemo. That queue is massive.
That's a huge queue, and it never has a line.
It never has a line. You're walking through like 8 miles of like tunnel and queue and switchbacks and everything else. And it's like, it's insane.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it is detailed, but it's like not like this, like this level.
Ariel is more detailed than Nemo.
Yeah. So
if you're
moving right along. So that was your number 2?
That was my number 2.
All right. So we kind of.
What was your number 3?
That's it. That was my number 3.
Oh, so Haunted Mansion was your number 3.
Yeah.
And then Tower of Terror was your number
was
2.
my runner. No, Tower of Terror was my runner.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah, Tower of Terror is my runner up. That was my number 4. They were tied because they're so similar.
Oh, I feel like you cheated.
Nope, I did not cheat. I told you it was my runner up. A runner up means did not place.
Okay.
So do I get to jump right into number 2 now?
I guess so.
Well, you're gonna like this one too.
Okay.
Smuggler's Run.
Oh, that's why I didn't pick it.
No, okay. So this ride, I mean, I think the queue, in going back to one of our other episodes, and I'll explain this later, some of these queues are better than the rides.
Yes.
Like, way better. And I think this is an example.
I only go on this ride for the queue.
The queue is better than the
I
ride.
get to go in the Millennium Falcon.
And that's part of the queue, right?
Yes.
So you're basically outside, I want to call it Savi's Workshop. It's not. It's Onaka's repair shop. And you basically walk in, and the minute you walk in, you are hit with sounds.
Yep.
Mechanical sounds, things moving, shadows. You can hear things banging in the backgrounds. Outside, you hear people like thrusters firing, and you're looking, and there's cases everywhere, and there's tools everywhere, and you see ships torn apart. And this is an amazing queue because it kind of goes outside around the Millennium Falcon, then goes up to a second floor. So you're all getting this view of the Millennium Falcon and a workshop. So you're basically you're looking at the Millennium Falcon. You're like, oh my God. And for me, I wrote down like this is basically my childhood in front of you, like the ship in real life.
But actually see it, not to interrupt you and cut you off, but to act for someone who grew up with Star Wars, just because everyone kind of knew Star Wars.
Everybody.
But even I now, as a grown up and like a Star Wars dork, and so for me to even see the Millennium Falcon in its glory is just, I don't even want to use the word breathtaking because that's kind of cool.
It's breathtaking.
But to see it is just amazing.
You could go to one of those uncharted villages in like Papua New Guinea where the tribes had never met human beings and be like, hey, who's this? And they'll be like, oh, that's Ronald McDonald. And you'll be like, what's this? Oh, that's Millennium
Millennium
Falcon. And this is Mickey Mouse. They know those three things,
Yes.
okay? You know, like
Yes.
French fries, Millennium Falcon, and Ronald McDonald.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
everybody knows it.
Yes.
It's like the Jaws poster. Everyone knows it,
Yes.
you know? So you're sitting there and you're like, wow. And you see steam coming off it and they make the noise. A lot of noises,
That's
a lot, and messing with your senses. And they did this right. Like every sense is being stimulated with flashing lights and sounds. And I don't know if there's a smell. If there is, it's
No.
rice. Like I don't know what the smell would be. But then you go up and you're starting to like the idea is you're about to board this ship from this guy Onaka. He wants you to go get kyber crystal or whatever it is. He wants you to round up these elements, these like crystals, and and this is one part of the queue. He's instructing you on what you're going to do here, and it's kind of a holding queue is what I would call it. And then you move on to the next thing, and now you're
Is that the part with the live action guy?
live action. Yeah, his name is Onaka. Yeah, so he basically is like he's coaching you along and moving you through the bowels of this ride queue, and they're long. I mean, it takes probably 15 minutes to walk through the ride queue.
Not only that, but they house you with Onaka. So the Onaka character himself is classic Disney, making something absolutely real. You go into this room,
some great animatronics.
you go into this room and he's above you and he looks real.
Yeah.
Looks real.
Yeah.
And it's good on Disney because it's a way to hold you in a pattern that you're not realizing that you're still waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have a couple of really good times like that. Tower of Terror,
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion,
Rise of the
Rise of the
Resistance.
Resistance. There's a couple. When you have cues within cues within cues, it's a really good way.
Yeah.
Because my biggest thing with Disney is I don't care how long the ride wait is,
Yeah.
as long as you're moving.
Yes.
So you can have me waiting for
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
If you're standing
but
still,
if you're slowly moving,
like rock and roller
like
coaster.
rock and roller coaster, if you're in that and you're stuck,
That
leave.
feels rock and roller coaster feels like an old school ride queue. It feels like you're outside and you're bored and there's nothing to look at, and it's like that's why it didn't even make my list. It was like, wow, like
No,
that's one of the worst queues there is.
Yes, we should probably do
Yeah.
worse cues next time.
Yeah, we probably
so
should.
there you go.
Yeah. So, but going back
But
to
anyway,
this
so
one,
he is very real, and
Yeah.
he is
yeah, he's probably a $10 million animatronic. You know,
Yeah.
like, hey, forget childhood hunger. Like, let's make a good animatronic, and that'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Moving along, and then you're kind of going through, and the whole idea is they're trying to get you aboard the ship. You know, they're trying to get you to get up there to, I want to say it's kyber crystals, but I know it's not. Coaxium. That's what it's
Oh,
called.
that's what it is.
It's coaxium because
Yeah.
it's from the movie Solo.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, so you're basically you're going out to get coaxium, and you're gonna play it, but that's the right stuff. So they're coaxing you along, and then you get up to the upper bridge level where you're looking down on the Millennium Falcon, and it is so, again, you're still walking through this shop of these corridors and the machines going off, and then the payoff, the money shot,
Yes.
okay, is when you spill out into the inner bridge.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it the bridge, I'd call it like a common area of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Where they're about to load you in, but it's like you get to see the sleeping quarters, you get to see the 3D chess table, you get to see like, and if you're really a Star Wars dork, you get to see like from A New Hope, where Luke put on the fighter helmet and practiced with the lightsaber. That is in one of the areas in the bed. There are so many little nods to every movie and little tie-ins, the floor to the ceiling to everything about that. I want to stay in that room.
And they actually give you a significant amount of
They take
time
photos
room.
in there for you.
They let you take photos. They let you sit at the table where they play that.
The 3D. The 3D.
3D
Yeah, the chess where they,
chess-
yeah.
Yeah, where Chewie gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and they've actually played that game in the Millennium Falcon in numerous movies. But it's not a queue area where they're like, oh, you briefly get to look at this and go. They let you get immersed
Yeah.
in that area. And they are like more than happy to take your photo, and other families are like, so go sit over there. We'll take your photo if you take our photo.
I remember that happening many times. And I think, it's funny, the first time we went on this was during COVID when you and I were
I was
alone.
so sick. Oh my
You
God.
you and I were.
Where at time out, I was so sick after the ride.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because that's I think I told like you totally gave up mid ride, and
Yeah,
I had to reach over to grab your controls, so
Right.
I'm controlling for.
No.
But prior to that, it was we were inside, and this was masks.
Oh,
So
that's
we have
right.
we have photos of us. This is 6 foot distancing, and it was like the cast members would not touch your phone.
No.
But you'd be like, hey, are you okay? To somebody behind you, you'd be like, are you okay?
And people were.
And they were. And then people were like, oh my God, yeah, here, we'll spin on your phone for you. You
Yeah,
want to cut?
believe me.
Like, it was great.
I will honestly say to kind of backtrack or kind of talk about a different subject. During COVID, we had gone twice during COVID.
Yes.
One time, Shawn and I went alone.
We went more than twice during COVID.
No, 3.
No,
3
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Well, the 3rd time was really the end of COVID. It was a little different, but the 2 times
Yeah,
were like
we're hardcore.
we're masked outside.
Yes.
But I will honestly say that everyone, meaning guests, were so respectful, so
Yes.
well behaved. And I mean, everyone was there for a common interest, knowing that they just wanted to experience Disney and not ruin it for anyone else. We only had one time, and that's when we went the second time with my parents, where someone had an issue with the 6-foot distancing.
Oh, I don't even recall that.
We were in a river.
Hey, we're past it anyway. Who cares? That I don't want to put another guy in that list of assholes.
No, that person needs to be on the list of assholes. But anyway,
Human beings being pieces of shit.
human beings being pieces of shit. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I agree with you. This is a great. I didn't pick it because I 100% knew you were gonna pick it.
All right. So you want? So now we're it's. Hey, do you want to do your number one?
What have we been talking for 10 minutes?
It doesn't matter because my number one, I'm going to spend like 9 hours talking about it.
Then you do your number.
No, you go first.
Okay.
Do you want to do A, rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I cut you, I go.
So you go. There you go.
Okay. So my number one for cues is Flight of Passage.
Ooh, good. All right, good. As long as you didn't say mine.
Yep.
Flight of Passage is amazing.
Flight of Passage. So this is in
Avatar.
Yep. So it's in Pandora. It's Avatar. This queue is probably one of the most immersive.
Straight out of the movie.
Straight out of the movie.
Yeah.
You start in an outdoor section. So the queue starts with outdoor pathways. You have lush, exotic, like
Foliage.
vegetation,
Yeah. Fauna.
fauna.
The noises.
Noises.
Yeah.
You're like, where am I? Am I still in Animal Kingdom?
You go through a Na'vi village too, don't you?
Cave dwellings. So after you're outside,
You don't go through like a Na'vi, the wicker part.
are you? That's outside. That's regular. That's the regular part.
But that's part of the queue. No.
Yeah, the banshees are outside. The banshees, the banshees are. That is not. That's like right when you first get to the ride.
There's not a wicker area?
Yeah, that's outside the ride.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So after you're doing your outdoor section with waterfalls and all the sounds and the foliage and the vegetation, then you go into these cave dwellings. And the cave dwellings are filled with like Na'vi art. And you are
immersed
in legit what feels like cave dwellings.
Yeah.
They are cold. They pump in the air. They pump.
You're right.
in
It is
steam.
cold. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
They pump in that misty steam. So you like literally think you're in caves.
Does it have a smell?
Probably smells
What would
like
it have?
No.
Wait, did you say it smells like piss?
mist.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, hey,
Mist.
hey, you know how what's wicked inviting because they look like cats? What if it's spray? It smells like spray everywhere. Like,
So
it smells like ammonia.
I find when Disney pumps in that mist, it has a scent.
It's got to have a little bit of a scent,
It's
right?
got like a misty smell.
What do you think that? What are they? Are they called the Na'vis?
They're Na'vi.
What would they smell like?
No, they smell like mist.
They would smell like mist. Those blue people 6 foot tall. I guarantee you they do not smell like mist.
So after you go through the cave dwellings and they're, telling their story, then you hit the research facility. This queue is so long.
Yeah.
And it's because they knew the ride.
Ride.
That wine kicked in really quick.
Hit it.
They automatically, I feel like, knew that this queue line was going to be well over 2 hours all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your switchbacks outside, your switchbacks
Inside. You are
stairwells. Your ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Yeah.
So then you hit the research facility. So the queue transitions into like a research facility, which in the movie, if you've seen it, was like part of like the Pandora like, what is it, like the conservation people?
Yeah. We have the scientists, and then you have
Yes.
the military slash like big company who's going for what's the chemical, aluminium, not aluminium.
Yes, I feel like
It was kind of a cheesy name like that, like basically like all you wanna, it's the element like everybody's looking for. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, big corporation.
So then you hit the research facility, and then you're in there for a little while.
What do you see in that research facility?
I feel like it's all just like it's like
Tubes.
test tubes and like
Beakers.
computers and beakers, and it's like, and you're not really in it. It's almost like you go around it. So
Yeah.
the stuff is in the center and you can see it, but you're almost like going around it. It's not as immersive as the next part, which the next part is the highlight because you actually go into like a second section of the research facility, and there's a legit avatar
Yeah.
in
The
almost
water.
looks like a water
In the
pump.
water tank. Yeah.
So picture the movie
Yeah.
when Jake Sully
Yeah.
is he's like floating when
Yep.
when Jake Sully comes out and he sees his avatar, and the avatar, because they have to grow them from birth
From test tubes.
from
Right.
test tubes, but they grow them in like water, almost like a human baby would grow, but in this giant 9-foot, and it's there.
It is amazing.
It's literally there.
Yeah. It's straight out of the movie. Like if you've ever been like, whoa, like did they CGI that, or is that a movie prop? It doesn't matter if it was CGI in the movie. It's real life in this ride.
And P.S., it's not just like a floating
Nope.
blob.
It is.
It's a legit
You can see it
animatronic
moving.
move.
Like, oh yeah, and you can see its fingers and it's like it's 7 feet tall.
Correct.
This tank is, I mean, it could be an illusion, but obviously it's floating. It's not an illusion.
No, it's not.
I would love to know.
It's an animatronic figure periodic.
Does it say how much that costs to make?
No.
Again, how many people could be fed with the amount of money you spent on that puppy, right?
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. So after you're in this research, another, Navi Avatar research facility. Oh, you think you're getting on the ride? No, just kidding. You have 2 pre-shows, not one pre-show.
Oh, that's right.
You have 2 pre-shows.
Where they do your DNA check and stuff.
So the first pre-show introduces scientists that are studying this and tell you all
Hi.
about.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Come on over here. We're gonna have you do this and this and this. And they try to explain. And it's to get you ready and staged.
Yeah.
Because, and not to interrupt Nikki, and not to give a huge peek behind the curtain, but there are probably 30 different groups of people that are all going to watch the same movie. So they have to coordinate this and make sure that everybody's going to funnel out at the same exact time. So these are holding areas, but entertainment at the same time. It's like a ride within a ride because they're doing fun stuff.
Correct. So the first pre-show goes all about the scientists who are like studying the avatars, and they talk to you about how this program in Avatar Flight of Passage is really, they're linking you to an avatar, but we're really studying banshees.
Yeah, banshees. We want to know how they work.
That's really what the whole thing is.
They want to do that weird sex thing where they put their hair and they knot them together. That thing. Yeah. That's what they want to study.
An egret?
How do you know that? Wait, is that the name of? Is that a bird?
No, that
Is that the name of humping?
No.
Is that what they call it?
What the banshees are really called.
What are they called?
I don't know.
Egrets? I think you're right.
Is it? Am I right? I can hear her
I think
voice.
it's called a banshee, but maybe hers name.
They call them banshees, but they have a real name.
The fact that you know that
I don't
upsets
know.
me.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What's the
and then the second pre-show is, I feel like, the technology. So it's going to talk to you about how you're linking with your avatar, and they claim that they already got your DNA from when you were in the queue, and they scanned the whole group.
Yeah, they scanned you.
They scanned you, and then they send you after that, I feel like, to the lockers. Do these have lockers?
They do not have lockers. You put your stuff right behind your banshee.
Yeah.
Your banshee / bike, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
You
then
load
after
into a
your
room.
pre-shoot, that you load into your room, and when you load into your room, you're on.
You're
the
giving
bike.
glasses.
They're
You're in a
giving
bike.
glasses
Yeah.
bike. So that, I hope I did it justice.
You did amazing. I felt like I was on the ride.
Final area before the ride is the link chamber, where guests are fitted with their 3D glasses.
Yes, where you're linking. You're sitting in there. You're putting on the glasses.
And that's when you get linked.
You open up, and then you basically go for the ride of your life.
Yeah. So that is my number 1 for cues, because it is probably. Oh, and I think there's 2 sets of bathrooms. And I actually missed a section. I just realized I missed a section.
Yeah.
So after the cave dwellings, you go to an indoor section that's really outside. And I don't mean outside like, I mean you're outside in Navi land. So it's filled with like bioluminescence. And I totally forgot about that whole
That's
section.
not the
It was cute.
Navi River journey.
Nope.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch a walkthrough
Nope.
because all of mine I actually watched walkthroughs.
I think I watched a walkthrough on this, so that's why I can't believe that I forgot it. So after the cave dwellings, before you hit the research facility, you walk through a queue that looks like you're outside, but you're really inside. And remember in the movie where like everything's like almost like
The big mushrooms and
No.
the little
there's
fennels.
a word I'm looking for. Black
Bioluminescent.
light.
Yeah, bioluminescent.
But
yeah.
so I did say it right.
Yeah, you said it right. Correct.
So there's a section there, and I know for a fact that's where the bathroom is. In between those 2 sections.
It's kinda
So you come out of the cave dwellings. There's
You
a
got some
weird.
bioluminescence on
No,
your
there's like
shorts.
a weird section that has nothing. It's like I don't know why I remember. It's like a random blue hallway. It's like a plain blue hallway.
Huh.
It must have been like a
An astronaut?
transition area,
Maybe, but they left it blue.
and they left it blue, and the bathrooms are there, and then you go into the bioluminescence.
Interesting. Yeah, no, it's amazing. I thought about it because again, I was like, oh my god, all these great and that was definitely a contender.
Yeti was almost one of them, but
But you what? But you what? Do you know what my number one? Take a guess. What do you think my number one?
I thought your number 1 was going to be Pirates of the Caribbean just because you're obsessed with pirates.
You asked me upstairs earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, I'm not telling you.
And then I was concerned it was going to be Yeti, so I didn't pick the Yeti.
Why would you be concerned?
Well, because I didn't want all 3 of ours to be the same.
Exactly. Listen, well, that would be great. That means we're perfect for each other.
Mhm.
So, suck back that wine, Nick. Hey, are we ready? I did rock, paper, scissors, so this was fair. My number 1.
If you say Rise of the Resistance, I'm going to be mad.
It could be a contender.
Okay.
So here's the thing again, and I want you to think about this. Like, what is a queue? And again, it's got to be entertainment. So basically, if you were sitting outside on the pavement for 3 hours, you'd be pissed, right? You'd be like, fuck this park, never coming back here. But if you were to spend 2 hours and 40 minutes like you do over an Avatar sometimes.
You're busy.
I've seen the ride line be 2 hours
You're
and
busy.
40 minutes.
Dude.
You're looking at stuff. You're playing it. You're like, oh my God, look at that over there. Like things are moving and they're not on a loop. So you might not see the same thing and it might be something different. And it just catches your eye and it's so entertaining. My number 1 is the Legends of the Forbidden Mountain. It's Everest.
Oh, so I was right.
And just in case you're wondering, because I never knew that is the official name of the ride.
We've called it Yeti for years.
We've called it Yeti, but it is called Everest, the Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, with a registered...
Did I just say that I thought Yeti would be your favorite?
No, you thought Pirates, but you weren't 100% sure. But the name is a registered trademark. It actually has an R on it.
Really?
Yeah, I took a photo of it. I was like, that's weird. It's the only ride, and it took a look. It's the only ride that has a registered trademark.
How do you know that?
Because
I guarantee
look,
Avatar
nope.
Flight of Passage does too.
No, look at this. When I was zooming in on the map, if you go to your my Disney experience.
Oh, mine's unloaded off my phone.
Your My Disney Experience?
Yeah, I needed to do an upgrade, so you have to unload some
Oh,
of your apps.
that's a horrible thing. Like, how can you not have it there?
I will-
But anyway, I don't even know where to begin with this ride.
Okay, go.
I watched, excuse me, I just burped. I just watched a 40-minute long video about the making of this ride. And it was, look at that. Look, see? So look right next to mountain. See how it is the R for registered trademark?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the only ride. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, and it's registered.
Love it.
Love it. This ride was $100 million. You might not have covered that when you claimed this as one of your rides. I forgot all about this ride. And if you go back to our top 5 rides,
I think it was in my list.
it was in your list and it totally overlooked it because this ride is this queue is the best queue ever.
No, the best queue ever.
I would go on this queue. I would go to the park just to go to this queue. Okay. Joe Rohde, legendary Imagineer. Even if you don't know Disney, again, we go back to that tribe in New Guinea and we show a photo of Joe Rody and that weird chandelier that hangs off his ear.
People know what it is.
It's that weird ass earring that he even makes fun of himself. That eccentric man is a genius.
He's amazing.
I was
love to meet
watching
him.
I was watching videos of him, like, and he's talking about, look at the water over there. He's like, look, if we're in the wild, like, water doesn't splash like that. He's like, it would splash like that. And he's so creative, and he sees life four-dimensionally.
Yeah.
Like, he's not normal when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yep.
How many, when you're walking through the queue, and I took photos of it because it is extensive. Look at the queue. All of those buildings are the queue. You're walking through switchbacks. You start, and again, there's a story here. You start in base camp. You start in
travel agency.
It is a travel agency. It is an expedition to not only get you up to Everest, but to get the photos of the Yeti, to get evidence that the Yeti is real. He's been causing havoc everywhere. So you walk from there. You're walking through peaceful pagodas, and like in Tibet, and
Very zen.
And as a kid, like, I love Buddhism. I love Brad Pitt in the movie 7 Years in Tibet. Like, I love all things ever. If I, in a different life, would have loved to have climbed Mount Everest.
Yes.
It is an act. It is very, obviously you're putting your life on the line. It's very expensive. It's some people consider it to be selfish because what if you die? They have to, there's so many things that are involved. So it's always had a mystique. I romanticize it. Like, it is beautiful. And when you're outside and you're looking up at it in that forced perspective, you feel like you're looking at the actual Everest mountain.
It's beautiful.
You're walking through the gardens. You're walking through temples.
Yeah.
And little prayer gongs. And I wrote something, like, even before you begin, the flags. Remember the prayer flags, different colors?
Yes.
Remember I bought some and then somebody threw them away at me?
I don't think they threw them away. They're somewhere. They got put somewhere.
Oh, they got put somewhere with all the rest of my stuff.
Stupid 15-year-old boys.
You and I we have been to a Buddhist temple.
I love that pagoda.
It is near our home. It's about a 45 to an hour long drive.
It is so
peaceful.
peaceful.
So peaceful. It is gardens, koi ponds. It is a big prayer structure that you basically walk around the outside of it, and you feel the presence of whatever your higher power is or whatever you believe in.
Very peaceful.
It is so peaceful. And I remember the first time going to this place, feeling that.
We called it the Peace Pagoda, but that's not what
it is called. It is actually called a Peace Pagoda.
It is
Yeah,
the Peace
that's
Pagoda,
100%
right?
what it's called. Yes. So this fake pagoda,
it feels very much like
feels
that
real.
in essence.
You know what it is too? It is the utilization of, like, bamboo in raw elements that make it feel real. Like, whenever I see bamboo, I'm like, oh, where am I in the Far East? Where am I in Indochina? Like, you can trick your senses, and you're like, you see the big broad leaves, and there's steam coming through in this, and it really plays on. And there's noises, like you hear prayer gongs in the background.
Yeah.
You'll hear some chanting and stuff like that. And that's the outside.
Yeah.
Because then what? How many artifacts do you think are in this queue? How many things do you think? When I'm talking artifacts, I'm talking about when you walk through buildings and you're seeing things on top of things, and there's always something for your eyes to land. Take a guess.
I can't even fathom to guess, because you go through in this queue a whole what they call Yeti Museum.
Yeah, you do.
So the Yeti Museum is right before you actually get on the ride. There are skulls. There are photos. There are
baskets.
Baskets.
I wrote down baskets, nails, trowels, poop.
poop.
But that's when you're getting to the Yeti Museum. I'm talking in the expedition where there's the backpacks and things like that.
Oh, so that's the section where you first go through
Where you first go through. I'm talking about
the office.
correct, the office.
office.
Right.
So-
Where you're seeing like crampons. A crampon is not a menstrual cycle. It is something you put on the bottom of your shoe. It's like a spike to climb
Those
up a
spikes
mountain.
that-
Yeah.
So that's what I mean is like that you go from the outside, because I find that these cues that have outside and inside,
Yeah.
that is the key to the magic almost. It's like you start outside and you're like, oh wow, there's lots to look out here, and then you get inside and you're like, oh wow,
Holy-
there's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. You see things in cases.
And then you're like, oh my god, and there's a whole nother room that's like totally like a different theme,
Yeah,
so to speak.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So for this ride, yeah, after you start outside, your first inside cue is the like the escapes office. So it's like the travel escape.
Yes,
That's what it's.
yes,
So you go
yes.
through and there's
Yep,
backpacks
yep,
and
backpack.
like
Yep.
all the stories from the
Yep.
people who have tried to climb Everest.
You start in the office, and then you kind of work your way out to the pagoda gardens and things like that. Then you kind of come back around, and then you're still kind of in the pagoda garden, and you come around by the Tibetan temple area, and then you spill into like the museum
The Yeti
area.
Museum.
Yeah, the Yeti
But
Museum.
artifacts, zero
Artifacts.
idea. Couldn't even fathom to guess.
8,000.
Not surprised.
But 8,000 from Tibet, from Everest. Joe Rohde, and you should know this. And on a side tangent, Nikki and I love the movie The Prince and the Frog,
Yes.
Princess and the Frog. We went to New Orleans
Just because of that.
just because of that movie. And the irony is we probably stayed in the hotel where the Imagineer stayed, because every reference from the street we stayed on to the hotels to the churches were there. So when the Imagineers go and they're like, oh my God, that would be great to include in the movie, the Imagineers, they went to Everest.
Yeah.
Joe Rohde went to base camp.
Yeah.
They went and raided. Some of the Imagineers bought out whole stores.
Good.
They walked in and they were like,
I want all of
this
it.
is, that's one of the guys said, this is great.
want all
I
of
want all of it. And the guy was like, oh, so funny. And I'm not going to do a racist accent. He's like, so funny. He's like, no,
I want all of
here's a
it.
check. I'm writing you a check.
I want
He's like,
all
and
of
I
it."
want your dog too. Like, I want everything. I want I want I want this carpet. I want
All of it.
And they brought it all. So everything that you're looking at, any souvenir is authentic from Tibet, and all of that like Malaysian culture. It is all authentic.
I hope it's so glued.
I hope so too, because now that I know that, I'm
Try
gonna
that.
Captain Sticky Fingers. I might try, but I'm joking, but maybe I'm not. But
I would be so upset.
yeah. The architecture on the outside, I thought was very interesting, because going back to the facades of these buildings, and everything is a facade.
Yes.
They hired skilled artists to carve these beautiful sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. The woodworking, so intricate, like tongue and groove, and it's so beautiful. And then they painted it, and they're like, hey, you did a good job. Okay, leave. And then they hire somebody else to come in and destroy it.
Oh, so it could be pieces of-
Distressed. Yes. And they didn't want to hurt the feelings of
Yeah,
the
so they're
people.
like, "Fine,
So they're like,
no."
oh my God, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Like smash hair. But they had to do it skillfully.
Yeah.
And throw moss on it and make it look aged, and that just weathered look with the patina, that it's been there. Again, this culture is thousands of years old.
Yeah.
So again, going back to those artifacts, some of those artifacts are thousands of years old.
So they had to make the rest of the.
They had to make the whole place look like it has literally come out of the jungle. So much so that what I thought was interesting is there are building codes. Any kind of structure, whether it is a roller coaster or building, has to adhere to building codes for safety.
Yeah.
Some things get grandfathered in. Newer construction like this was built in 2011. Excuse me. Sorry, 2003. They have to adhere to new building codes, new safety things. So what they did is they had to play with rules. So the buildings, windows are not on the same lines. Windows are offset. And that's technically like it, as long as it had to be like the same. But code, like, how do you do that? How do you offset a window structurally? Like usually you have like boring stuff, 2x4s and steel,
Yeah.
stuff like this. But they literally put things on access. So it's like a roof is pitched the wrong way, and like it looks literally like buildings are crumbling another way.
Yeah.
And it was all intentionally, but they had to be like, hey, it still fits code, right? Even though it looks like this, and it's, you know, kind of set back. It looks like it's about to collapse, but we promise you it's not, you know? So it's the thoughts that Joe Rohde has. Like
He's retired though, right?
he is retired, but he still will sometimes give some insight and things like that. He was the mastermind behind Animal Kingdom, which I think is the most beautiful park for its attention to detail. This ride sums up.
I hope he's helping with Encanto.
Oh my gosh, I hope so too. I mean, this ride should show like when they're $100 million.
I already went over that in my favorite ride, I think.
You did not.
Oh.
It was the most expensive ride
Because of the Yeti.
from the Yeti animatronic, which I don't care, that's inside the ride, but the ride itself was the most expensive ride in Guinness Book of World Records from 2000. The ride opened in 2006. It was announced in 2003. This is a side story because I just said it was open in 2003.
Yeah, telling fake news.
No, my point is they built it in 3 years.
Okay.
From the ground up. Look how fast they were able to do it. So from 2006, in 2011, it got in the Guinness Book of World Records. It stayed the most expensive ride until 2019 when it was taken over by Hagrid's, the motorcycle adventure. Do you want to contest something?
The world of Avatar Land, which includes the ride, costs approximately $500 million.
Well, that's the land. I'm talking about the ride Yeti. You're talking about Avatar.
Yes.
Or we're talking about the Yeti.
Yeah, I know, but you're saying that the Yeti was the most expensive ride.
It was. You're talking about the world of Avatar. Yeah, the world of Avatar is not the ride. And I'm talking about the Yeti was look at most expensive ride.
It cost $500 million to build the flight of passage.
Right, that was after 2019. This held
2017.
Well, though, look up Guinness Book of World Records. Look it up right now. From 2011 to 2019, this ride was the most expensive ride at $100 million. Go ahead, I'll let you Google right now. While I'm still telling some fun facts.
You do your thing. I think you're wrong.
Google it right now.
I am Googling it.
Google most expensive ride in 2011. Guinness Book of World Records. And yeah, again, it was dethroned by Hagrid's. Let me go here. What else we got here? They would basically, I just wrote down tons and tons of facts about the ride itself. Like anything from, the stories behind it to like, how they made things look aged, but at the same time, pitched roofs and things like that. And when it rains, it looks more like you're in the village. If you're lucky enough to be there during like a rainstorm and the water's coming off like the teak roofs and the carved out bamboo and the terracotta, things like that, it looks amazing. Let me see if I got any more fun facts about the ride because I literally wrote like 3 pages. Nope, that's pretty much it. That sums it up. I mean, I would literally, like I said, I would go to Animal Kingdom just to walk.
$100 million, you said?
$100 million.
Yeah, that's what it cost to me.
Yeah. Was it the most expensive ride?
The 2011 edition of the Guinness World Records lists Expedition Everest as the most expensive roller coaster in the world, a record the ride held until 2019, like you said, for Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Includes sets and extras, including its total cost was reported to be around $30 million for 6 years of planning and construction.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was telling good information here. I think sometimes what can happen is I think depending on who's writing a story, they can inflate certain things and deflate certain things, and they can be like, oh, the ride itself was $100 million. But when you referenced Avatar, you're referencing the...
No. When I looked at Avatar, yeah, I meant the ride, not Pandora itself.
Yeah.
I meant the ride.
And it was open in 2017?
I think, is that what I just said?
Yeah. I see. Here's another part of this too. That was reported in Guinness Book of World Records. Mm-hmm. So Disney actually had to show their financials for that. Yeah. When you and I were doing like our top 5 rides and we were kind of going over it, and it was like, hey, Rise of the Resistance cost $400 million. I saw mixed reviews on that. Like, I couldn't
Yeah.
get, because I feel like sometimes the reporting can be inflated and be like, oh my God, it was $500 billion, or, it was X amount of dollars and this and that. Like, so you don't.
It's funny, I can't find a price for Avatar Flight of Passage.
Yeah, I don't think I was able to find one back when I looked either. But some of them are hidden and some of them are
But this
confidential.
opening date was 2017.
So how can it report if you can't find the price of it? How
Because
could it,
I wonder
how
if
could it have dethroned it
because I wonder
if it was wrapped up in the whole world?
wrapped
It
up in the whole
was.
world.
Yeah.
And if it's wrapped up in the whole world, they can't say that it was just the ride.
Correct.
If you're spending $500 million to build Pandora, and Pandora was part of the Navi River journey, as well as the floating mountains.
I mean, look at Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run is part of Batuu. It's part of Galaxy's Edge. Like, you walk in and imagine the Millennium Falcon wasn't there. So I guarantee you, they're like, hey, all of Smuggler's Run was like, $80 trillion, for this. And then the ride happens to be a part of that because it was incorporated into the landscape. This, I don't even know. This is part of, what is that area called?
Asia.
It is Asia, right? I mean, unfortunately, in the area, there's not a lot going on. There's where the theater is, the amphitheater, which...
So while the exact cost of the building for Avatar Flight of Pit is not publicly disclosed, the entire Pandora cost, so that's what happened. 500.
So
that's
why wouldn't that be publicly disclosed? But yet they disclose this ride, and they submit it to Guinness,
because
they were proud of that.
$500 million to build all of Pandora, and that's what was included was this ride. So when Villain's Land gets built and Maleficent's castle goes up with her roller coaster, it's going to be Villain's Land cost $500 million to build. I wonder. Not
do you
individual.
Do you think it's the amount? Do you think if obviously back in, so this going back to my notes again. Excuse me, I originally reported that...
The entire 12-acre land, including all attractions and infrastructures, cost $500 million.
You're talking about Avatar.
Avatar. Yeah. It's because it was built all at once.
Well, and I think that is a astounding number.
Yeah.
That number is gross. I think when you get to a certain threshold, you're like, oh my God, we should maybe be like donating a lot of money to charity. For back in 2003, when they were like, we're going to build this ride and it's going to be amazing and you're going to feel like you don't have to go to Everest, $100 million is like a high plateau. It is like, that's it. That's the bar.
Yeah.
And it lasted, like I said, until 2019.
Yeah.
Now you come along and you're like, this land costs $500 million.
The whole land. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, that's obscene. So like, and we talked about with Rise of Resistance, $420 million. You spent that on a ride. That, if you break it down, that's a lot of money. Like, I'm all for a good time, but maybe we should donate a little bit. And I'm saying, hey, Disney donates money to charities.
Yeah,
they're obviously great, but I'm glad they do spend the money. But when you start to think about the amount of money, like, wow, that's a lot of money.
What is my favorite charity for them? Make-A-Wish.
Donate
to Make-A-Wish.
There's Make-A-Wish, and there's Give Kids the World. There's a lot of charities like in the.
What's the other one? The good one? It got to be Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish, the blue. Yeah, you every time you buy a bag or Loungefly, like, it donates.
I'm a huge Make-A-Wish fan.
And I'm pretty sure that any of the money collected from the wishing wells go to those charities, whether it's Make-A-Wish or I think one of the new ones now is Give the Kids the World.
Yeah.
And it's basically like, it's along the lines of Make-A-Wish. So let's just leave it there.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about Yeti? I hit you with a lot.
You hit me with a lot. It's okay. I agree with you 100%. I think that the fact that Joe Rohde went to base camp and was like, I want all of it. Yeah. Like, I want
him and his team.
I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm not, because when you go into the Yeti Museum alone and you look around right before you get on the ride,
the photos,
you know darn well that shit ain't done by Bob, who's sitting in his office. Like,
some of it could be.
Some of it could be, but it's enough immersion to be like, wow, this is pretty big.
Yeah.
This is pretty big.
It's legit.
It's legit. And I like that you go through the Peaceful Pagoda. It's a great queue. It's a great queue. It's fun. The sad part is we usually run through this queue.
Yes.
It's rare that this that this ride has an hour wait.
Yeah,
It's rare.
have we
I
ever?
don't know why.
I don't think we've ever waited.
I don't know
there.
why. So you kind of are going. I think we've waited at least 45 minutes once, and that's how we knew about the outside area with the
Yes, yes.
because when the queue is only like 10 minutes, you miss that whole outside. You literally go right into
the Yeti
the
Museum.
Yeti Museum.
Yeah,
You hit the
you bypass
no, you only bypass the outside. You don't bypass. Or do you bypass the place for the backpack place?
I think well, I think that's depending on how the queue
Yeah.
goes. I think if you have a fast pass
Yep.
or no, sorry, not a lightning lane, you're passing. There's so many different options. So it's like I think maybe only that time we waited 45 minutes did we go through the full queue.
The full queue.
And I think sometimes I have seen it in videos where the queue actually spills out like 7 doors.
Yeah.
And it's along the side of the ride. And it's like, that's rare. That's
rare.
So rare.
But note to self, there is a little, if you are there is a little area right there. If you're staring right at the ride, there's a little area right there to the left that serves beer, pretzels, popcorn. And so.
And you can go to the viewing area and watch
Yeah.
if you don't want to go on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Cool.
I think it's great. I think that you picked some good ones. I struggled not picking Thunder Mountain, but
I was there too.
I
was
struggled
it
with
was there, but then
but it's really not.
yeah.
I was going to pick Thunder Mountain, and I had to separate my nostalgia
That's
for
why.
my ride
That's why I chose. Yes.
versus what actually is an amazing queue.
Yes.
Because I, as we just talked about, am petrified now of Tower of Terror because I'm a baby. I don't know why, what happened.
I mean, again,
I slept in that.
we're
that
just
line
talking
last night.
queues though, like you not overall ride experience
No,
because
just the
this is just queues,
Just the
right?
queue.
Awesome. So next week we are back to
Next
regular.
week we are not here.
Okay.
So we have to be honest.
We might miss a week
We're going
because
to miss a week.
we
are
are
going to be in
yes,
South Carolina.
We're going to be away. So we might try. I might see if we could just throw a recording up real quick, but there's no promises. So we might actually miss 1 week. I apologize. Hey, we'll just give you double the news when we get back, I guess.
We will give you all the news.
But
We will be on social media. So
yeah, continue to do all the fun stuff.
we'll do all the fun stuff. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out. You know, I think you can reach Shawn probably on
Yeah.
any of our social media platform except for the Facebook because we don't do the Facebook.
Yeah, no, we're not on Facebook.
But
Nope.
we're on the Insta
Everything.
and the TikTok.
TikTok. Yep. I'm gonna do live dances. Yes,
No,
YouTube.
I'm not gonna do that. My hack.
I have one stupid hack. If you go to
No, I gave a hack halfway through. What did I say the hack was?
I don't. If you go to Animal Kingdom, go on Yeti repeatedly. Just keep going. Get on, go off. Get on, go off. Get on,
tell
go
that
off.
story
Yeah,
already?
you did. Go on, get off. Get on, get off. It will be one of the funnest memories you'll ever
And
have.
do it at night.
Do it in. Oh, wow.
Do it at night.
That should be another hack.
So-
This ride.
Do this right at night. So the time, and I've probably talked about this numerous times in numerous different episodes. I think it was during COVID again, right?
No, it was normal.
It was normal.
Yeah, it was
No, it was during COVID because the park was closing early and no one was there. It was during COVID. It was a time with my family, with my parents. So during COVID, we went, and for some reason, we were at Animal Kingdom, and it was dark early. I don't really know why, because it was March.
It was around 6 o'clock,
It was
7
like 6
o'clock.
o'clock. The park was empty. Everyone had bailed out. We went on the Yeti, what, 20 times?
No, 8 times. 8 times. And we remember asking the woman, I was like, hey, what's the record? She's like, I don't know, 50 something. And I was like, ugh.
But anyway, we literally were going on, getting off, running around, going on, getting off, running around over and over and over again. And the only reason why we stopped, I had to stop because I was starting to get motion sick, and both children almost peed their pants because they had to pee so bad, and we didn't stop riding the ride. So if you have a chance to do the Yeti over and over and over again, do it.
Do it.
And do it at night.
That's my hack. So, all right, we will maybe see you next week. If not, we will
No,
definitely see.
Don't lie.
We'll definitely see you the week after. So, anything else?
Nope.
Hey, stay classy, Disney.
And thanks for stopping by.